Hi, this is Carol. Today I'm going to be making artist trading cards. Let's get started. We're going to be using the stencil Sweater Weave by Becky Boker. This is a PM Artist Studio stencil. I have a masterboard I made with some of my gel prints. I made that a year or so ago. And I tore it out of the book, which is hard to do, but I did. And I'm going to use this stencil to sponge in some purple. Uh-oh, just had an avalanche. Always having avalanches over there. I have a rolly cart that when I start digging around in it, stuff goes out the other side. So this is Artist Loft Metallic Purple. And instead of using the gel plate and the brayer, I'm just going to do the stamping way of getting things on here. All right. So when you do it this way, you get it pretty well covered, but then you stamp part of it off and smooth it so it's not big globs. Then you hold it down pretty well. I'm just going to do it over everything. That was my original plan. For the wow factor. Hopefully, I get a wow factor and not all. There's been plenty of times I've taken things off and I shouldn't have done that. Now, see how that's gone crooked? Oh, drive me nuts. Drive my own self nuts. Thought about taping it down. It is what it is. A toes what it is. That's why the gel plate is so nice because it's sticky and it holds things in place. There, get down where you belong, buddy. You hold it down in two places, you're good. But if you try to just hold it down in one, see, I've got these fingers spread out. Much better. We'll need more paint. We'll need a bigger boat. This is shiny. Nice and shiny when it dries. When I look at this stencil, I see high over and over, H-I. It's so funny when I see stencils. It's like looking at the clouds. I see something different than what they are, which is fun. I like seeing things in things. When you do abstract art and you see people in it when you didn't draw a person. I like that. I like it. Well, what do you think it's going to look like? Pretty good. All right, I'm back. I went and got these little stencils out of my stash. These are also PM Artist Studio Strips Volume 3. I'm going to do a little mark making on here. So I'm going to get some metallic black and some metallic pink and the blue called Sapphire because those colors seem to match this. I think I'm gonna do blue with this one. I'm gonna put it over this little piece of white right there. Make sure I don't have too much. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it on these little edges because those work out really good as designs, as trims and designs on other stuff. All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Let's see, which one am I going to do with the pink? I think I'm going to do this little twirly thing. I don't know how to show up. Do a little bit right there. Right there on that orange. And right there. I have a few extra pieces of blue here. So I'll put a few circles. Because why not? Why not? When you cut it up, it looks cute. Not everything has to be a stemple. That is a combination of a stamp and a stencil. A stemple. Did I just invent something? Two in one tool. A stemple. Why buy a stencil and why buy a stamp when you can get a stample? The best of both worlds. Well, I want every ATC to have a little bit of that on it. Get a couple there. And then I'm gonna have to dry this again because I was gonna put black on here. That was the top of a glue stick, by the way. All right, I've dried this. Now I'm going to add a little metallic black. I'm not going to put it everywhere. This is kind of thick. Which section do I want? I don't want that section. I like that this stencil has different designs on it. Oh, yeah. Mhm. Add some drama to it. Add some drama. Yeah, that's a good little section of that stencil. I like stencils that have different designs on them like that. I'll do this section on this side. Cute. That would make a nice border on a journal page. I like that. Very dramatic. Very dramatic. I need to find a piece of paper to use this black on. I'm just going to give this a whole nice little border. I don't know what it's for. It's just scrap paper that I had off something else. This was just scraped paint, this little strip. I remember now I was gel printing or something. I had a extra chunk of paint. Ooh, very cool. I like that. I had an extra chunk of paint and I just scraped it on this long strip of cardstock that I had. Well, what a nice strip. All right. Let's just see out of curiosity if this is the right width. Yes, that would be a good ATC. It's 3 inches, but the ATC width is 2.5. So it looks like I'm making those and these. Do I want to put anything else on that to lighten it up some? Let's lighten this up a tad. Not sure how this will do. If I don't like it on the first do, I won't do it again. This is the pewter. It's not really light, is it? Maybe I need to do a little mark making with it and then add some light. Okay, let's use this. This is Pop Dots. I'm not going to do too much. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. The view's good. If I have some extra, am I going to put it over here on my little purple one? That'll be interesting when I chop it up. I'm going to do it on this too. You see it? Cute. That's cute. All right, let's see, buddy. You do need some lightning. Let's see. I've got this. This will be the styrofoam. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to smush it out with a gift card. This is turning into a nice masterboard. Still might want to do something on top. Say just an old piece of styrofoam that I cut into. And I think I did it with a pair of scissors or something. Right, let you dry before I throw you in my drawer. What else? What about some big circles? Shake it, shake it, shake it. This is peridot or peridot. This is a really big circle. Well, look at that lovely, lovely masterboard now. I love it. Love it, love it. This has to truly dry before I come back and cut that into ATCs. Like that too. All right, let's let this stuff dry. These are dry and ready to chop. If you'll notice, I now have a green slicer because I dropped my pink one and it broke into lots of pieces. So I was sad. All good things come to an end. Let's just chop and whatever happens, happens. 2.5. Make sure that looks good. Okay. 2.5. So I'm going to make this 3.5. 3.5. And how wide is that? Is that 2 inches? Yes, there we go. So I will do 2 inches. Well, actually, the 2 inches is easier to do on this one. Then I'll have some twinchies too. There we go. I'm gonna have some twinchies also. Sweet. And then whatever that's gonna be used for. I think that might be fun to put on the actual artist trading card since it's made that way. How's that? 4.5. It can be part of the Twinchie. Yeah. So we'll go 3.5 this way. 3.5. Nope. 2.5. Same way I was doing it. Right. And how wide is this one? That is 2 inches. So that's going to be a bunch of unusual Twinchies. Cool. Okay, let's cut these 3.5. Trying to get a little bit of every color on my Twinchies. Okay. Look at how much fun's coming out of one masterboard. Okay, let me get these Twinchies cut. And I want get rid of that. Now this, because it does have those holes, I'm kind of considering gluing that down on something. Just something to keep them together. So here's a piece of paper. I'm going to glue this down to this and let it dry. I'm going to use extra strong glue stick for this. And I'm going to hold that next to it so I can see how much glue I need. I'm going to get rid of this piece of paper. And let's just see everything we got out of that one masterboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ATCs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Twinchies. And I'm thinking I might be able to make one more Twinchie hit over here. Look at these strips. I just need to glue all these together. I'm going to glue it on here. All right. Face down. I don't think that'll work. Face down. Crazy. Now that's what you call utilizing every piece of paper right there. Let me dry this glue. All right. Oh, I was like, where'd my scissors go? The glue is dry. It's just 2 inches. I messed it up. It is. So far, the only thing left is this little bitty strip. That's pretty good. All right, I have thought about it, and I'm going to make 6 ATCs and more Twinchies. So I'm going to do some more chopping. Shame on me. I should have done it beforehand. That's a crappy scrappy. Crappy scrappy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a good number of ATCs to make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Not a good number. I could make some out of this. These colors do not match, is the problem. If I just added some of those colors to this, I could make these match. That's what I'm gonna do. And this time I'm going to utilize different mark making techniques. I'm not gonna get those stencils back out. I'm just want to utilize the same colors. And if they're a little different, there's nothing wrong with that. And I have a piece of corrugated cardboard. I'm going to add some purple bling. So I feel like this needs something else to be more matchy with these. Need some red, honestly. Let's see what kind of mark making am I going to use for that. Whenever I see something interesting, I just keep it. Thinking, hey, that'll make some neat marks. What this? Well, you just never know what's going to make good marks. I like those marks. All right, I have all of the ATCs, the Twinchies, in this long sheet spread out. And I'm still trying to make them all look like they go together. This is really way more busy than the rest of it. And I want to do something to make them all come together. So I'm going to I've used every other color. Metallic, just green, not metallic peridot, but regular green, because there are some regular greens everywhere else. This was inside of a cash register tape ribbon, the paper, but it makes some interesting marks. Kind of like a cog put together, do half and half. Not doing too many, just want the colors to come together like everything else. Let's get some craft paint. Just a little, because I actually realize now I might want to use my little squirty bottles at the end of the whole process. Little piece of shelf liner. Now I'm trying to lighten it up some so that when I put the images on here, it shows up. I'm trying to make sure everyone's got a little bit of that on there. All right, time to let these dry and, well, let them dry and cut these up and then decorate. Look at how many little pieces is on that. Sweet. All right, so now I am going to find me some little elements to put on that or create some in Canva. Either way, I'll be back. All right, it is time to move the Twinchies aside and create the ATCs. The Twinchie creation will be in a different video, or maybe on a live stream, but not in this video. So I have the lovely 20 of these. ready to make a set of lovely Twinchies. So I'm just going to set those aside over here for now. And we're going to focus on these ATCs. Get me a piece of paper here for gluing. Let's get a little bit right here. Set these three. Well, they're going to be sets of 3 sets. Each one's going to be similar. And I've got a little bit of stuff here. So I thought about using. I thought I'd make. I've got these little heart. I mean, all this stuff is handmade stuff or stamped. Like this is a stamp on painted paper. Which one does that look best on? Making 2 sets. 1 set to give away and 1 set to keep. I'm going to hit stop and I'm going to make up my mind and I'll be back. All right. I have a plan. I'm going to glue these things down on these and this stuff down on here. And then I'm going to get my squirty bottles out and embellish with some gold and maybe some lime green. That's my plan. The first thing is these little strips, little painty strips, I call them. All right, so I have both of these glued down. Now I have these 2 glued down, the flower parts, and I did decide I was going to put this little strip of gold dots on there. So that's my next step. Stuff like this is where the mixed media comes in. Gluing and collaging and cutting and painting and just doing all kinds of things. And also the lovely texture it creates always makes me happy. Cute, okay. I'm still not done. Is everything glued down? Did I want to glue anything else here? I don't think so. Okay, I'm gonna let these dry a little bit, clean up my mess, and get out my little acrylic bottles, my little squirty bottles with the acrylic paint in there. I had 2 little baby strips still of the little gold dots. So I'm gonna add a little strip to that. Leave no scrap unused. There it is. Eh, I don't want it there. I want it right there. Same thing for this one. I like that I'm keeping 1 of each also because it's a remembrance of this participating in this swap and making new friends. All right, I have these ready to embellish with some painty little painty doodles. Not too many, but I wanted to ink the edges first with black very heavily. I'm jumping the gun here. I wanted to put them on, see, they're really thin because it's on scrapbook paper. All right, I wanted to cut some paper into ATC size to glue them to the back. So 3.5. Actually, it's easier to glue it down than cut it, right? I think so. It's cute. Okay, let's get, oh, there's one. Let's get these edges inked. Let me do one more smash here, make sure everything's good. All right, let's set these out and see what kind of embellishments I want to add. Actually, I know one thing I want to do before. Turn them up. Here's the two that go together. Two. So cute. So I'm going to turn them over in the correct direction. Add a sticker and a date. Okay, now I can turn it back over and decide what I'm going to do. Because, I got to put some of these gold on here. And also, get over there. Those greens need to be looking better. So this one, I'm going to, let's bring the camera down. I should have had it down all along again. Whoops. Move these out the way. First thing I'm going to do are these. And I'm going to go over the dots that are already there because they have faded after I ink the edges. Check it. Yes. And I'm going to go all the way to the edge. All right. So now this needs to, I can't pick it up, be set aside to dry. If I don't set it somewhere nice, I will smash it. And then this one, I'm just putting it on what's already there because I inked the edges. And made it dark. Cute. I love this part. All right, let's see this one and this one. Put it on top back on. This has the green circles that kind of have faded, which is brilliant yellow green that I have in this squirty bottle. So I'm just going to add it back. Go over to the right, make sure it's working. Yep. All right. Yeah, let's make that more prominent. And plus, it'll give it a little texture. Is there anything else I want to do? Now's the time. I think I'm good, just like that. All right. Put you over here to dry. Same thing here. Cute. Very cute. Very fun. All right. Now, don't want to put the green. It does have a little gold. Let's just go with the gold because it got the little strip on top. It does have some blue on there. Let's redo these on both of them. In case my hand was covering it up there. And this one has the little blue stripes at the bottom. And that was this light blue permanent in the squirty bottles. I think I'm going to add a few of those stripes. Let's see here. Same thing here. And a few up and downs here. Let's see. And a couple of circles right here. Real pretty. Are we balanced? All right. So I'm going to set these all out right here. There we go. 6 lovely ATCs, 3 to give away, 3 to keep. And I made 20 Twinchie backgrounds that I can use in a video or a live stream. That'd be good to do on a Twinchie Tuesday sometime, wouldn't it? I had a really good time making these and making the painted paper and embellishing the masterboard. That was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. I love all these colors, the boldness of the purples and the blues, and then that black on there too. It just really makes me happy to look at. I'm glad I made 2 sets so I can keep a set in my own collection and then giving 3 away. I don't know if you like to make ATCs, but I do recommend it because just little art, little tiny art is fun to make. And that's it. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope you come back. Bye.